What's up, guys? I'm coming at you in the afternoon, evening, me and my boob light. I hate that light so much. Someone once told me it looked like a boob and I can't. Sorry. I have teenagers. I don't have toddlers running around, so my evening looks a little different. It's not very chaotic, but Dalton has his high school open house. If you're new here, I have an 8th grader and he is 14. I also have a 6th grader. She is 12, so kind of creeping into having almost 2 teenagers. So my afternoon and evenings are not very chaotic, but we still got to get stuff done. I'm still a mom, I'm still a wife, everybody's still got to eat, because Lord knows this house would not be running if I did not keep up with things. So let's get the afternoon started and go to the first thing on the list, Dalton's high school open house. Daylin ended up staying home to get some homework done, so Brett and I ran Dalton down to the high school, which is the same high school that I graduated from, so it's even more nostalgic and crazy that we are at this point right now. I'm pretty sure that Dalton will be taking driver's ed this coming up school year. He also signed up to do like some business classes and some food classes. So after we visited the high school, the boys wanted some food because they were starving, even though it wasn't even dinner time yet. But we grabbed some Casey's pizza and got home to kind of start our evening. I still ended up cooking dinner once we got home because I figured everyone would more than likely be hungry later on this evening. So I am shredding up some rotisserie chicken. Sometimes at our Walmart you can buy a bag of like an already cooked rotisserie chicken for really cheap. And so I grabbed 2 bags of that, and then you just mix a little bit of cream cheese and salsa, and then you're supposed to cook it in the crock pot and kind of let that like marinate all day. I forgot to put it in the crock pot, so I just kind of put it in a pot on the stove top and just kind of let it cook together. Then you take the corn tortillas, put a little bit of cheese and then the chicken mixture inside, roll it up, and then you fry it in the oil. So it's a very quick, simple dinner that I do like to throw together. I feel like our summers in the evening, I don't know, I just like summer evenings a lot more. They're a little bit busier. We have either we're doing stuff outside, or we're grilling out, or we're working on like house things, or the kids have a bunch of friends over, and I thoroughly enjoy just like leaving the door open, having everybody outside kind of like enjoying the fresh air. It's so hard in the wintertime. We live in the Midwest, and so it's so cold to do anything outside, and so we're all kind of like stuck inside. So it's hard to like find things to do. You kind of get bored of like the same old. So I am thoroughly looking forward to our summer nights here soon. So I'll have to vlog another evening kind of whenever the weather gets a little bit nice. It is always on my list to take care of our animals before it gets too dark outside. So I come out and I refill their water, which again, I cannot wait until summer because I can fill the ducks pool up, and it's just so much easier to have animals in the wintertime. We had a couple like 60-degree weather last week, and the chickens were out, the ducks were out. Like it was just so much easier to take care of the animals when it is nice out. And I was telling Brett that I'm like, man, if I could just like, let's just move somewhere warm and then I can have all the animals I want, because going outside and doing all of this when it is freezing, it just sucks. I love them though, and I don't want to get rid of them, but it's just been a lot for me to take care of. It's just like one more thing on my plate. So I don't know. I know I've talked about getting rid of them. I'm definitely not getting I'm not getting any more chicks this summer. I'm keeping what I have. I don't know. You guys know I always change my mind with that kind of stuff. But I am going to be back inside. I took the garbage out, took care of the animals, did my outdoor stuff because it was starting to get dark out. So now I'm just going to feed my dogs. I don't know if any of you can relate to this, but I feel like I have such a hard time asking for help. Like maybe it is just in my DNA of being a stay-at-home mom that I am just so used to doing everything and taking care of literally everything and everyone in the house that sometimes I forget that like you can ask for help. So I promise I'm working on it. I do ask my kids for help doing the dishes, and I mean they do their own laundry and worry about their own rooms and stuff, but like feeding the dogs or helping with the outdoor animals, or I actually don't even have to ask them to help me carrying groceries. They just like walk out and help me, but I am working on that. But even though you see me doing everything for the video, I promise behind the scenes I am working on asking for more help. But as of tonight, I am just doing it all. Of course, Shep has to take his time and lick all my dishes. It is so weird though, like as your kids are getting older, that, you know, if you have young kids right now, I know that you are in straight up survival mom mode right now, and I promise it does get a little bit better. You just shift into almost like a different version of yourself as a mom as your kids get older, because I feel like I'm able to have more space in finding myself. And in that, I think I've realized how much anxiety and overthinking that I have lived with and how draining it is. Like I literally go into every single situation, whether it's the grocery store or going into work or talking to someone at the bank or walking into the office at my kids' school. Like there's always this level of anxiousness, overthinking, and it's not to the point where like I can't handle it, but I didn't realize that like every situation I go into, I feel that, and that's not normal. So I am working on me and my confidence. I'm not only doing it for me, but I'm changing and becoming a happier woman for my family too. Sometimes I feel like we forget that you can still be a present mom and also in that same breath take time out for you. I mean, don't get me wrong, you can still be doing that when your kids are little too. I just don't think it clicked for me, I guess, until my kids were older, until I had that extra space and a little bit more like downtime, I guess, to find myself. Because I know that for me personally, I put 1,000% of myself in everything I do, and that's not necessarily a good thing. So with that, I felt like I need to slow down more and not be in this panic, anxiety, overthinking mode 24/7. Like that's not how it should be. I always had in my mind that slowing down meant you're lazy, and that's not the case. Like resting doesn't mean that you're falling behind. When I feel my best and I'm taking care of myself, I can show up with more patience and grace and love for my family. And that has been just a big driving force for me. I guess I'm just learning to be more present and much more intentional of my time when I am with my kids, because there's so many times where it's like you'll just be sitting there and you're so tired and you're just looking and counting down the hours until bedtime, and it's like as your kids get older, you can kind of like drop your shoulders a little, you know, like you can kind of enjoy it a little more. And it's not that like you can't do that when your kids are little, it's just when you are full on in mom mode when your kids are young, it is so exhausting. It really is. I know it probably sounds cheesy, but it is so empowering when you are in the stages of building yourself up again and finding yourself again. Like I can't tell you when it started or how I started. I just started with small good habits, putting myself first more, even in the most dumb ways of like, you know what, I'm gonna make my plate first for dinner and so that I can sit down and eat with everybody. Just little moments like that, and you slowly start to build this like, I'm worth it too, like I deserve this too. Putting yourself first more, being more intentional with my time, and embracing all the things that I enjoy and not trying to fit into a specific mold because I feel like that can tie back into the whole comparison game that I know we all play, and that's a whole nother thing. I do not have all the answers to share with you. I wish I did. And I can't talk to each of you individually about the struggles you're going through. I know that you are tired. I know that you are overstimulated. And I know that you are unsure if you're doing enough. You are doing enough. How many times have we cooked dinners even when we're tired? How many times have we given hugs or stopped what we're doing while juggling a million other things? Or the patience that you try to have even on the really difficult days. It all matters. All those little moments do matter. We don't need to be perfect. We just need to be present. I mean, raising kids is meaningful work. It's freaking hard, but we are building and creating their childhood. Like, we are making their childhood, and that's a lot of pressure. If I could encourage you to do one thing, if you're at your lowest, if you feel like you are doing this alone and you have no one else to turn to, I would encourage you to just pray. There is a sense of peace that I always feel after I pray. I can almost take a breath and lay the pressure down. It's hard to explain. It's just a feeling of I don't need to carry this weight because everything will work out in my favor. Tomorrow's a new day. We were not meant to carry motherhood alone. I know that I talk a lot about motherhood and anxiety and stuff and some deep topics. Not everything is always deep on my channel. I do like to keep things lighthearted because Lord knows life is hard enough. But I originally started this channel many, many years ago when my kids were little because I felt like I didn't know where to turn, and I felt like this was an outlet for me. And so now that I feel like I'm in a better place as a mom, as a wife, as a woman, I feel like I can share some things that maybe moms of younger kids are going through. And that is important to me because I know what it's like to feel at your absolute lowest. So if you only do one thing today, I hope you find a moment to pause and to breathe and find some time for you, because you deserve care too, no matter what that looks like. I think the easiest place to start is if you just take your small, mundane, everyday moments and switch it up a little, because I feel like that's when we can get in this terrible every day. It can feel so mundane just doing the same thing every single day, especially when you have kids. No matter what age they are, we try, at least I do, we try to keep them on a somewhat of a schedule. And for us as moms, sometimes that gets really freaking old. So if you can drink your morning coffee outside, getting ready every morning makes me feel a lot better too. It doesn't have to be extensive. Just putting my hair up and throwing some makeup on can totally shift your day. If you can take a shower alone, I know that's huge for some moms with younger kids. Step outside and go for a walk if you need a break. There are a lot of times when I will go outside to do something and I don't know, it just does something to you being outside, not being in the four walls of your house, kind of in a sense. So if you do anything tomorrow, I hope that you find a chance to take a break. I hope you drink your coffee in the morning slowly and it is still warm, because you are allowed to be cared for too, even if that care comes from you.